Hey guys, welcome back to the Well That Didn't Work channel. This is for YouTube, like for the video, but I'm also going to post this on our podcast just so that we're kind of covering all the bases because we have quite a bit going on right now, and we wanted to give you a good update for December. So the first thing that kind of covers the catch-all of everything that we're doing. So we're shifting away from like announcing ourselves as welcome to Well That Didn't Work at the beginning of all of our episodes of stuff, which this probably won't catch up until December or so. But we just kind of felt a little awkward, like the kind of tagline was taking a while, and we're still very much under construction. We just kind of, hey, let's make a podcast next week. Let's buy all the equipment right now. And so it was very fast paced, which was awesome. It was great to be able to start recording early on. But we're definitely like constantly in a learning process and learning about things like sound management and EQs and video and marketing and all kinds of crazy stuff that we never had to use really before very much. And so just as we're learning about that stuff, we want to make edits and do better at all of those things. And so we're working toward editing kind of taglines and how all that goes. So we'll be introducing each episode of everything by the title of the type of show it is. So like Urban Stars will be Urban Stars, Brew Crew, Brew Crew. And then as we release other things, we'll talk about them in those respects as well.
And it helps us kind of jump just directly into a little bit more of the, a little bit of the story that just previously happened in the previous sessions, bring people back up to speed, and then quickly jump back into the story and the narrative points. So it'll be a good adjustment.
For sure. And so, with that being said, welcome to the December update. I'm Percy, your usual GM.
And I'm Mike, and I haven't GM'd here yet.
No, we'll get there one day. Now that one shots are done.
And off camera, Jason is convulsing. So,
so speaking of Jason convulsing, we recorded this month in November our last one shot for a while. Not to say we'll never do one shots again or anything like that, but we definitely wanted to bring a new campaign in. So we'll talk about that in a moment, and I'll let Mike introduce that. But this last one shot is actually going to be in a game called 7th Sea that Jason GM'd, and he did a fantastic job. We got a solid, I want to say about 3.5, maybe closer to 4 hours of content for that one, and it was a blast to play in. I never get to play games. I'm always on the planning side, and so it was really nice and refreshing for me to get to do that. And Jason's storytelling is just so unique, and really, it personally it draws me in the few games that I've been able to play in that he's run. One of my favorites was probably when Genesis first came out. He ran us through literally the board game Clue and had us make Genesis characters for it. It was super fun. So you'll really enjoy 7th Sea. Take a listen. We're going to pop those out all on one day. So tell us a little bit about L5R, Mike.
Well, L5R, we did a one-shot, and it was an absolute overwhelming success as far as our consumption that was taking place on YouTube content.
Yeah.
And I think it's been the same way over on our podcast content.
Yeah. By overwhelming success, he means we had 50 downloads.
And I'll relate this.
That's a lot compared to other content.
I'll relate this in minutes. We're talking 3 times the amount of minutes watched. Mm-hmm. What was L5R versus what we did for any of our other campaigns thus far. So you've spoken, we've listened.
Yes.
We are jumping on the bandwagon, and we enjoyed the game so much that we're going to go ahead and start that with doing some pre-release and some prep here in December, and we'll start releasing the campaign in targeted for January.
Yeah, and the outline for that January is going to be a lot of L5R, just one right after the other. We're going to go every week. We're going to pop out a new intro episode introducing a character in one of the clans, but ultimately we want that particular campaign to be once a month, a large chunk of story. It'll be a good binge.
So if you're a super fan of L5R, by all means jump on in, join the bandwagon. We'll enjoy having you. Leave some messages, click the subscribe, and click the like button. It'll just help everybody else get a chance to see it.
For sure. And we've got a couple of kind of, I guess, staffing changes. We don't get paid yet. But we've got a couple of cast changes. Chris, who has been with us for Star Wars since the beginning, he really only has room for one campaign in his life right now. just with work and other things that get in the way. He only has time to commit to being here for one campaign a month, and so he is going to shift over to doing Legend of the Five Rings. But with Chris leaving Star Wars, we've got room for another actor to join our crew.
And that other actor is going to be my son. He's played with us on a couple of different occasions in a couple of different games, and you guys will get a chance to see him. You'll probably see some D&D releases here throughout the month that will pick him up, and his name is Daniel. And we're looking forward to having him at the table because he can be an absolute ham.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see that come out. I like the goofy. We need more goofy at our table.
And Varho can't. I mean, Udell can't handle it all.
Yeah, for sure. And so the last thing that we have to announce is we wanted to enter 2019. We started this thing very end of 2018, last quarter, and it's been really fun and a really great time. But we don't want to live in isolation. We don't want to just be a podcast about role-playing games. Like, we are that, but we as people are about many more things. And so we wanted to pull in a focus of charity for our Patreon, so that people who are giving to us aren't just giving so that we can buy new fancy equipment, but are also giving to a cause. When you're giving to, well, that didn't work, you're also helping somebody. So I don't know as much about this subject, so I'm actually going to let Mike talk in depth about kind of a little bit of it. But I think in general, everybody is affected by this in some way, shape, or form. If not directly, then somebody who is.
We all have family members that are affected, and when we talk about the mental health issues, we're not talking about some of the more well-known ones. I mean, some of those are out there and they're just, in your face kind of situations. But there's people who suffer with some that you might not even know really suffer from them. So I know we here at the table are affected. I can say honestly, my family has to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. I won't go into any of the details. A few people that I've entrusted with some information in the past know. However, it's a very unique challenge, and for those that need the help, we think that these charities or some potential charities that are out there that could guide people to the medical resources that they need. I mean, fortunately, in my case, we've been blessed to get my family members over to where they needed to be, and it's helped out immensely. So we do not want to turn a blind eye to that. And right now we don't have a designated charity at this point.
Right.
We will announce when we have selected a final candidate of a charity that we know that the money is going to go to, that would use it in the right way.
Yeah, this is still a new idea for us, even that we just kind of in the last couple of weeks have started talking about.
But we will be looking for anybody who is donating to Patreon, whether it's at a $2 mark all the way up to our maximum mark. We will be looking at a percentage of what comes in throughout the course of that year will be directly donated over to a charity and to mental health services. So with that said, as we get a little more information, we'll hand it out to the whole crew.
Yeah, and we're committing to you guys who listen and like our stuff that before we ever consider buying new equipment or paying ourselves, which ultimately that would be super cool, we're more passionate about gaming and about doing these things, about giving to other people. And so before we ever even think about anything like that, that percentage is going to be decided on and immediately cut out and prepared to be able to go to those organizations.
So as far as that's concerned, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
But we just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up of what was going on in December for the That Didn't Work crew, and let you know where we were going to be taking a few of our early decisions with the one shots. What we were going to be doing with some cast members and things like that. So
yeah, for sure. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our content up until now. We are now almost 3 months deep, which is crazy. It's even crazier that we've had more than 500 downloads and tons and tons of minutes listened on
Over
YouTube.
4,000.
It's just been overwhelming for me, I know. So thanks so much for liking us. And if you haven't already, go follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can even like our page on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and man, just keep on supporting us in just even those small ways of leaving comments and leaving reviews and things like that. That helps us immensely.
And the people you'll be communicating with are directly the ones here sitting at the table. So,
Yep.
You know.
Yep, we don't have a backup crew. Mike and I are it.
All right. Well,
So,
on that note,
yeah, we'll see you guys later. Keep on adventuring.
have a good one.